They came at dawn, not because they feared resistance, but because they believed the humans of Dawnreach Colony would be too awestruck by the sight of their gleaming ships to even dream of fighting back. The Vral Dominion was an old empire, drunk on centuries of conquest. Their fleets carved across the Orion Arm like blades through silk. And when their scouts found a small, thriving human colony orbiting the pale world of Halloran IV, a settlement with only a few million civilians, they didn't see a community. They saw prey. The Vral Prime Admiral Kareth Voss had laughed when his sub-commanders questioned the raid. Earth's colonies? He sneered, his mandibles clicking with contempt. They breed like vermin and scurry to the stars thinking they are conquerors. Let them learn their place. Burn this one so the others remember their size. And so they did. When the Vral fleet descended, the skies over Dawnreach bled crimson with fire. Their plasma lances tore through orbiting defense satellites as if swatting flies. Civilian ships, freighters, transports, even mining rigs, were vaporized as they tried to flee. The colony's governor sent a desperate transmission to Earth. Her voice was steady. Even as the sky fell, "This is Dawnreach Command. We are under attack. Civilians down by the thousands. They came without warning. Tell Earth. Tell them. Static." The Vral obliterated the transmission array moments later. For 3 days, they made sport of it. Cities were glassed. Oceans boiled. The survivors, those unlucky enough to remain breathing, were herded into camps, forced to watch as their homes were dismantled for raw material. Kareth Voss ordered the colony's planetary flag, blue and silver, bearing the Terran Union crest, dragged across the ash and burned. When the massacre was done, Voss addressed his fleet with smug pride. "Mark the coordinates," he declared. "Let this world stand as a monument to the folly of expansion. The humans will do nothing. They always talk peace, but their colonies are small, weak, and divided." He believed that. The entire Vral Dominion did. They did not realize that Dawnreach's last transmission, cut short as it was, had reached Earth. And with it, something ancient stirred. The arrogance of empires across the Vral Dominion. News of the human incident spread like wildfire. On 1,000 worlds, their governors toasted to the pacification of the Terran settlers. Primitive, they called them. Children with toys, a species of diplomats and dreamers. Traitors, not warriors. In their council chambers, the Vral laughed. "They build small ships," one noble hissed. "They fight with machines, not blood. They have no hunger for war. Let them cry to their Earth," another mocked. "Their fleets are slow. Their colonies are scattered. They are no threat." Across the stars, the Dominion's propaganda networks broadcast hollows of Dawnreach's ruins as a warning to overreaching species. It became a symbol of Vral supremacy, and the galaxy listened. Neighboring powers took note, human. Allies grew nervous, merchant. Routes through Vral space suddenly came with new tariffs, veiled threats hidden in bureaucracy. The Dominion believed themselves invincible. They believed humanity too fractured, too civilized to risk total war. They believed wrong, because, while they mocked and toasted and bragged of conquest, Earth did not send ambassadors. Earth did not protest. Earth did not beg the Galactic Council for justice. Earth went silent. For 6 long months, humanity said nothing. The Dominion mistook that silence for fear. They did not understand that in the dark heart of Sol System, within the silent rings of Mars shipyards and the hidden forges beneath Luna, something vast was being born. 3. The silence before war. The Vral had underestimated humanity before, but never like this. Within weeks of Dawnreach's fall, Earth's colonies went dark to external traffic. Trade routes were cut off. The Terran network went encrypted under Protocol Ironveil, a defense measure unseen since the Europa siege. Civilian communications ceased, replaced by ghost signals and automated beacons that said only one phrase: "Stand by." Orders incoming. In the orbital docks of Ceres, silent construction fields awoke from dormancy. On Titan, factories once used to build atmospheric harvesters were converted to produce railgun slugs by the billions. Beneath the ice of Enceladus, black sites began refitting old dreadnoughts, veterans of wars long forgotten, into monsters of steel and vengeance. The Terran Navy Command issued a single classified order to every fleet admiral. Operation Breaker Dawn, initiate. No broadcasts. No public statements, only silence and movement. Freighters vanished into the dark between stars. Their cargo, vengeance. Fleets regrouped under classified designations, each named for fallen colonies. Dawnreach, Atlas Prime, Valora. Entire sectors of space emptied as civilian traffic rerouted. Leaving the void eerily quiet, the galaxy whispered, "What is Earth doing?" The Vral scoffed. Kareth Voss, hero of Dawnreach, laughed when his spies reported human military buildup. "They think to frighten us with fleets? Let them come. Their colonies are small. Their ships are relics. We are the Dominion. We have conquered species older than their sun." And still, Earth remained silent. Until one day, 6 months after the fall of Dawnreach, every Vral sensor array on the frontier detected a ripple in the void. Hundreds of warp signatures, perfectly synchronized, and at the heart of it, a signal, broadcast on all frequencies. "This is the Terran Union. Dawnreach still burns. We are coming." Then the stars themselves seemed to shift. The awakening of giants, the Vral, frontier outpost of Rathar 9, was the first to die. Their early warning array picked up human fleets emerging from warp. 100, then 500, then 1,000 signatures, but the readings made no sense. The ships were enormous, city-sized constructs, bristling with weapons, escorted by entire wings of strike frigates. The Vral commander ordered an intercept. He expected a skirmish. What came instead was judgment. Human dreadnoughts. Sleek, angular matte black, descended in formation. Each bore the insignia of a fallen colony: Dawnreach, Valora, Orpheus, Halloran IV. Their lead ship, the TSS Titanborn, transmitted one message before opening fire: "For every life you took, one star will go dark." Then the void screamed. The bombardment lasted 8 minutes. When it was done, Rathar 9 was gone, its oceans vaporized, its cities reduced to glass. The orbital station's wreckage drifted like ash. The human fleet did not slow down. It did not salvage. It did not even respond to the Vral distress calls. It simply moved on. The Dominion scrambled to respond. Fleets were rerouted, reinforcements deployed. But the humans were faster. Far faster. Their ships moved in perfect silence, using warp corridors and gravitic folds the Vral had never seen before. Entire sectors fell before the Dominion even realized what was happening. Each world that had celebrated Dawnreach's fall now saw human banners descending from orbit. Black banners, emblazoned with a single sigil. A burning sun encircled by the words, "We remember." The humans did not take prisoners. They did not demand surrender. They erased. One Vral fleet admiral, in horror, recorded his final log before his flagship was torn apart. "They do not fight like before." Their silence was not fear, it was preparation. Every strike precise, every shot vengeance. They come not as soldiers, but as gods. When Earth spoke again. Within 3 weeks, half the Dominion's outer systems were gone. Their communications collapsed under the strain of panic. Refugees flooded to core worlds, carrying stories of invisible ships and orbital strikes that leveled continents in seconds. The Dominion Council, once smug and serene, now screamed for answers. Why do they not negotiate? What do they want? Can they be reasoned with? But the humans had nothing left to say. Then, at last, Earth spoke again. One broadcast, sent directly to the Vral throne world. The holographic transmission showed Admiral Talia Mar of the Terran Navy. Her face was calm. Her uniform, black with the silver crest of Sol Command, gleamed under cold light. "To the Vral Dominion," she said, "you killed our children. You burned our worlds. You mocked our silence and called our colonies small. You thought us scattered. You thought us fragile. You thought we were still learning how to wield the stars. But you forgot one truth. Humanity builds giants in the quiet. You raise them." Then the feed cut, replaced by orbital telemetry. Hundreds of human fleets converging on the Vral core worlds. The Dominion panicked. They activated every defense array, every planetary shield, every ship they could muster. It was not enough. When the human armadas arrived, they blotted out the sun. Dreadnoughts the size of moons eclipsed day into night. Rail cannons fired slugs moving at near light speed, punching through planetary crust. Atmospheric carriers unleashed drop pods by the millions, each containing soldiers encased in next-generation exo-armor. Their neural links bound to tactical AIs that thought faster than any organic mind. The skies burned for days. The ground quaked. The Dominion screamed, and humanity answered. Without mercy, cities that had once displayed the banners of conquest now lay under the shadow of human ships. Vral soldiers broke and fled, only to find nowhere left to run. Their fleet's command structures disintegrated in chaos as human EMP storms shattered their systems. The flagship Titanborn led the final strike on the Vral homeworld. As its cannons powered up, Admiral Mar spoke her last order. Dawnreach sends its regards. The planet's surface cracked, and the Dominion died. 6. Ashes and Echoes. When it was over, the stars went quiet again. Human fleets withdrew, leaving behind silence and wreckage. The Vral Dominion, an empire of 1,000 years, was gone in less than one. Other species watched in stunned horror. Even those who had once mocked Earth's diplomacy now whispered prayers that humanity would not turn its gaze their way. A decade later, in the ruins of what had once been the Vral capital, alien archaeologists found a plaque left behind by the humans. It bore no threats, no boasts, only words. We build in peace, we endure in silence. But if you burn our worlds, you will raise our giants. The galaxy never forgot, and when whispers of rebellion or conquest surfaced in the dark corners of space, there was always one voice that silenced the rest. Do not touch the Terrans. Do not touch their colonies, because everyone remembered what happened the last time. Someone did. They thought humanity's colonies were small. They thought the people of Dawnreach were weak, but in their arrogance, the Vral had not just destroyed a world. They had forged an empire of vengeance, and in the silence they mocked. Humanity built giants.